Isometric drawings, making sense of the physical world, length, depth, width, x-axis, y-axis, z-axis. I first learned of isometric drawing when I was in technical high school learning technical drawing. We did a few isometric drawings, as I recall. I loved the simplicity and how I could just flip around my 30-degree, 60-degree triangle with the T-square tight against the tool and simply measure the distance with a scale. How much easier than perspective drawings. Honestly, at that point all I could do of perspective was artistic imitations and approximations. With isometric I could be as accurate as Frank Loyd Wright. Everyone's drawing should follow the same rule. A square is a square. An isometric cube should be the same for everyone. What a system. Of course, in reality when one looks down a railroad track or at telephone poles along a highway stretching towards the horizon, things should get smaller and closer together. That's the visual reality. Of course the railroad tracks follow the isometric rule and stay the same width apart, that's why the trains work. So, being confined to an isometric understanding of the world gives one a mechanical advantage even if it is visually false. When I was in my late 20s I got a chance to teach technical drawing at the same high school I had been a student at. I had taken technical drawing for 4 years in high school. I enjoyed the drawing time, 4 classes a week. But, I had not taken any classes after that, so I was not prepared when I got a substitute teacher position teaching technical drawing. The teachers in the technical drawing department told me that it was set up to be all freshman classes as someone retired in the middle of the year. Just stay a chapter ahead of the kids, I was admonished. So, I did. I began taking technical drawing classes at night at Boston State College on Mass Avenue near the Museum of Fine Art. I took other classes to get an additional certification as an industrial arts teacher. There was a shortage of technical drawing teachers, and I loved teaching the high-interest subject to the students. One of the things I bumped into quickly was the chapter on isometric drawings. I was taking over for someone who retired after the year had begun. A lot of the basic board drawing routines and paper layout exercises with pencil and T-square had been taught. We came to the chapter on isometric drawings. I had a drawing board set up in my living room and would draw in the evening while my girlfriend watched television or listened to music nearby. I loved the beauty of isometric drawing. I had done a few in high school years earlier, but now I had a book with 20 exercises in front of me. I loved the way some books presented a puzzle of an orthographic projection of 2 sides of an object, and the challenge was to then produce the object in isometric 3-dimension graphic representation. Like a visual Sherlock Holmes mystery. So, when I was a teacher of technical drawing I extended the number of isometric drawings the students did. Some students began to race through the drawings and delighted in solving the puzzle of what the thing looked like. I had some students rushing into the drawing room as soon as the bell rang and getting their tools and draw out of the big old wood cabinet open at the back of the room. We had 2 heavy wooden drawing desks that looked decades old and made to last. They were high, and the students sat 2 by 2 on high stools to lean forward at the angled drawing surface with their drafting boards. T-squares and triangles provided the support for the lead pencil lines on manila paper. I started to increase the number of drawings the students did and added a lot of isometric drawings as the first approach to a more complicated drawing. I had a handful of students who had 180 drawings in their personal folder at the end of the school year. That was 180 days. We did not have class every day. I met 2 of these students a few years later and they were both in architectural college programs. One I met in a movie theater as he was working as an usher, the other I met in the Chinese restaurant he worked at on weekends as he was a student. I got an extra container of chicken tenders in that order that I did not pay for, thank you. I did have students draw things that were more artistic than actually technical drawings. My drafting department head looked at some of the simplified isometric building drawings I assigned and remarked, interesting geometrical shapes. He was right. I did create some drawings for my students that were realistic as buildings. But the drawings got them to draw quickly, and they could see where the lines were going visually to see if they were correct. I was going for a high rate of response. I wanted the students to learn to technical drawing by doing a lot of technical drawings, even if a lot of the drawings were actually simple. In the Latin admonition, repetitio mater studorium est, repetitio studorium est mater, repetition is the mother of learning. A person who does lots and lots of isometric drawing starts to have a familiarity with the world. Everything graphically is composed of these 5 shapes. Learn to draw them and one can draw anything. After one masters isometric, one can easily move on to perspective. One can draw a kind of approximate perspective drawing by picturing an isometric rendering and just squeezing the sides as the object moves away. Such beauty and simplicity. The physical world understood in 2 types of drawing, orthographic and isometric. Who needs more? Not me. Today I have been looking through pictures online that are isometric. I put many of the pictures I found on the Reddit subreddit I created called r How to Draw 101. Just the fun of uploading the drawings gives me pleasure. I look at the drawings in a different way, almost, since I am sharing them. Even if no one else actually sees the drawings. So I used almost all the drawings I found in this post, and I made a slideshow movie. I put the video on YouTube and just chose a random music from YouTube to fit the length of the video. I can't hear the sound on the computer I do the video editing and uploading on. The YouTube video sounds ominous and strangely meaningful.